Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. This week, we're going to kick off with a couple of tracks that I'm interested in. The first coming from a band called Pinkshift, whose 2021 EP was one of my most played albums, and their 2022 EP sort of bounced off of me. It wasn't bad, it didn't expand on the ideas that I enjoyed from their original, I suppose. Maybe I'll come back to it in a couple years and it'll be everything I wanted. I don't know. Maybe I need to change, not it. Regardless, they did put out a couple of new singles this year. They have an EP coming out in October, I think it is. Yeah, it just says pre order it. I don't know when it comes out. But we're going to check out this track off of it called Home. Nice energy with the snare roll in the backgrounds. Beautiful melody on top of this idea. Transitions between ideas are just a little rough, but they're serviceable. Utilizing the guitar as a drone for the vocals to slide into that same note. Really enjoy that. I like that chord. Very gazy, drenched in reverb. Was not expecting this. Very patient melody on top. Hmm. Yeah, I think I'll come around to this one. it's not immediately striking me, but there's elements in it that I do really enjoy. Particularly, the chorus is exceptionally catchy and impactful, despite it being vocals, chords, and straightforward drumming. It's, I don't know, it's got impact. It's got to be the emotional component of it. The chords themselves seem pretty standard for post-hardcore. I wouldn't say there's anything particularly spicy going on in our chord progression, um, but maybe it's the guitar tone. Maybe it's, I don't know. The vocals might be a strong component of it. There's a lot of passion and power in them that I don't know, elicits a reaction out of me that it's, I don't know, it's captivating. I think that's the word I want. The chorus is captivating in a way that, oddly enough, I don't know that I have words for. Usually I'm pretty good at explaining why things work the way they work, and there's something shining through in the chorus that absolutely works for me in a way that I can't quite explain. I don't know, like I said, it's going to take a couple listens, I think, for me to come around to this one because aside from the chorus, the verse is okay. I don't have anything negative to say about it, but I don't really have anything positive to say about it either. It does what it does well. It acts as a contrast to the largeness of the chorus. It acts as a contrast in intensity to the chorus, and it provides a moment for the song to dip down and have a moment to breathe before it gets hit with this overwhelming impact coming in from the chorus. The second verse did do something really nice towards the, I guess it was the last four bars. The guitar held out this drone, just hit a single note and stayed on it, and the vocals did their line, came in under it and slid into matching the same tone, and I really liked that, almost as if there was a destination set and the vocals had to take the journey to get there, like saying that's where I want to be. You point to your map. I know the song's called Home. I didn't pick up a lot of the lyrics, but she did say something about a home. It's where I want to be or where I am or something like that. We'll get into the lyrics in a second, but this concept of wanting to be somewhere and taking the path to get there, I think was really nice. I don't know if that's what they were intending with it. I mean, sonically it just sounds cool too, but I think there is some meaning behind it as well. The bridge, though, was very cool. I mean, first of all, we just had a great display of vocal control, power, and presence with all of those very wide vocalizations, the O's and the ahs, almost as if the music were drowning out the vocalist and she was screaming to be heard in a sense. I'm not going to say that it was a desperation in the delivery, but there's definitely an affirmation. I don't know what the vocals are supposed to be affirming, but it was some sort of declaration of state, declaration of uh, fact. I am here, I am me, I am present, that kind of concept. Um, but what was really interesting is it was paired against a guitar solo, a secondary melody coming out of our guitar that seemed to be doing the same thing. It was these isolated, longer held out notes that were sort of drowned out by the chord progression as well, and it was almost like these two voices screaming out for each other and never quite meeting. Again, I don't know if I'm reading into things too far, but I really liked this duality of the counterpoint going on there, how they're both separate but unified. There's that connective idea that they're doing the same thing, they're just not doing it the same way, and there's that distance between them, whatever that might indicate or be, represent in the narrative that they're going for. All of this, of course, culminates into our shoegazy, reverb laden outro, which I thought was interesting. It brought a lot of the weight of the music down to something that felt a bit cozier. If this is a song about coming home or getting home or finding a place where you belong, any of these ideas, this is finally reaching that moment. There's a comfort, there's a warmth in the atmosphere that they craft here at the end. It's paired with a plucked string with heavy um, vibrato on it that I'm not sure what instrument it is, judging by the timbre. I'm curious if anybody else heard a specific instrument there. I kind of get a family of instruments. It certainly sounds Middle Eastern, but that might also just be from the heavy vibrato as well. Um, I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it is an it is an instrument you don't typically hear in rock, which I think is very cool to hear it here in this manner. And I kind of wish this idea were expanded. I think the song is a bit shorter than it should be. Now, maybe I get into the lyrics and it makes sense and this is a good finale, but as far as the music goes, in my experience listening to it for a first time, I felt that the outro was entirely too short, and I wish they had expanded on the idea and pushed it into another section entirely. It would have destroyed their standard A B C B format that they're going for and that they achieved, but I don't know. I wish there was more to it. I wish the song were expanded. I feel like that's a criticism I frequently have is I wish the song were something else. um, but I don't think it needs to be a lot more. It's not like we need to turn this into a 7, 8, 9 minute epic. Just expand on it a little bit. Put another melody with it. Show me where this story goes. It doesn't feel like an ending to me. It feels like I was stopped in the middle of a track and where I was, or, the middle of a film, and instead of saying to be continued in part two, it just, the credits rolled and that was it. And I'm just supposed to accept this as an ending and it doesn't feel final to me. I would have just liked to see it expanded. I'm going to take a minute to look at some lyrics and then we're going to wrap this one up. The lyrics are sparse, sitting at a looks like we just have 14 lines here, non-repeated, of course. The chorus goes on a couple of 3 times now, so I'm not going to count all those since they're not unique ideas. The verse says, I have a way of my own. It's clear as day I'll find my way home. The second verse says, nothing will stay forever on its own. This feeling waits. It's all I've ever known. You're all I've ever known. This idea of again, having a destination in mind. Verse 1 says, I'll find my way home. I have my own way of getting there, and it's clear as day. I have a plan set. I know where I'm going. Everything's going to work out. But verse 2 almost acts as if there's a wrench thrown into this plan. Nothing stays forever on its own. This feeling waits. It's all I've ever known. The idea that change is destined to happen. I had this plan, I had a destination. That's not going to work out though. Things have changed, and I know that. All I've ever known is that nothing goes the way I intended it for. It says also though, not only is that feeling all I've ever known, but you are all I've ever known. Um, I hope indicating that there's another person with them. The chorus sort of implies this, and I hope it does, because otherwise my read of it would be that there's a perspective shift and things get a bit fuzzy if that's how it goes. I'm not sure how to read into it. So I'm going to stick with the idea that there's a single person here, and it says, I know where I want to go. I've got this plan. the plan falls apart, and it forced me to see that, you're also in this picture too. It's not just me alone. The chorus comes in, says, "You'll never be alone again, I'll always stay. We'll never go home again, but I'm still the same." And I'm not entirely sure what this means. I mean, there's certainly a little bit of I'm putting you ahead of my own goals. Right? I wanted to go home. I had a plan for it, but that's not going to happen now. Instead, I'm going to stay here with you, and that way you're not alone anymore. You are a priority higher than me, sort of concept. But the idea, I'm still the same. And this concept of unchanging, I think, flies in the face of verse 2, where it says, "I know nothing stays the same. Nothing will ever be forever." And yet the chorus says, "I'm still the same." I don't know 100% what this song is going on about. I could do with a few more words here and there to make things a bit more clear, but as usual, poetry is not my strong suit either, so I'm not gonna say that this is anyone's fault other than my own. If anyone has insight into these lyrics, maybe they have their own take on it, please let me know. I like to pair it back to the music, and there's certainly this element of weight, of destination, of pressure in the music, and then the release at the end that I'm not quite sure what it alludes to given my limited understanding of the lyrics here. And I would like to make some better connections between the music and the lyrics that I think exist, I just don't have the capacity to see or understand. All right, those are my thoughts on Pinkshift's Home. Let me know yours. Down in the comment section, give me your comments, your thoughts, your perspectives, your opinions, anything like that. Let me know what you thought of this track. Above that, in the description box, you'll find a link to Linktree that takes you here. You can find links to my music, ways to support the channel, a link to the Discord server, and a ton of other things. Above that, if you could, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I greatly appreciate all three. All right, we have one more track that is of interest to me. I do like every other Monday. I get to pick all the stuff that comes out, or I get to pick all the stuff we listen to. We're gonna be looking at a track from Baldur's Gate 3. I think that's gonna interest some people. It interests me, especially since the song I specifically picked is about the mind. Oh, it's the Mind Flayers theme. Mind Flayers are very cool in Dungeons and Dragons. Um, So, yeah, if you're interested in that, stick around, check that out. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC. We're going to be taking requests from the comment section. I have a few that I've been keeping track of over the last week or so, and if I see more, I'll throw them in there. We'll randomize it, we'll see what's going on. Till next time, remember to be critical, not cynical, of the music you listen to. I gotta be critical too. I don't want to be cynical. And have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you choose to watch my videos.